Ladies and gentlemen, Dragon Ball is truly back. We are so back. Dragon Ball Daima episode 17 had me over the moon, bro. This shit was a banger. It was absolute peak. It was flames. Oh my... If you don't like the words peak, fire, then click off this video right now because it's going to be used a lot, right? Oh my god, dude. I got to gush over this episode. We got to discuss everything. Obviously, there are spoilers in terms of a full in-depth discussion. We're going to be talking about everything that happened in this episode and just, you know, we're going to gas it up. We're going to gas up Dragon Ball today, bro. That's what it was all about because Super Saiyan 3 Goku finally appeared. He finally did it. I was waiting for this for 17 episodes, bro. Like like every episode I was like, when is he gonna do it? When is he gonna do it? Like we already saw Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta in episode 12, and I would say that that was probably my favorite episode up until this point. Episode 17 so far, best episode by far. Okay, not only do we get to see Goku transform to Super Saiyan 3, we get to see the climactic fight. I waited for this the whole time. This was the episode that Dragon Ball fans were truly waiting for, okay? And before anybody, you know, says, oh, it's meathead shit, you know, like I don't like that, okay? I don't like when people were like, oh, yeah, this is the Dragon Ball meatheads. No, like, if you like Dragon Ball for the epic-ass battles, that's fine. There should be nothing wrong with that. If that's what you know, got into the series with, that's entirely fine. You know, do we like the world building? Absolutely. Do we like the slice of life stuff? Do we like every other aspect of it? Yes, that's a great addition, but some of us just really love watching Dragon Ball to turn our brains off and have a good time. Like, if you want to call it meathead shit, whatever, bro. I don't care. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? That's how I grew up with Dragon Ball. I loved watching the epic fights, the crazy transformations. That was what Dragon Ball was for me when I grew up, okay? Do I like everything else that comes in addition to it? Yes, that's the whole package, okay? You want the whole package. So far, Daima has definitely been doing that, and I gotta say, overall, the pacing with Daima has not been the best. I feel like there are a lot of episodes that weren't necessary. Okay, I don't want to say a lot, but there were some episodes like, what is it, that one where they went to the Giga Mega World or whatever, where I was just like, it was fun and I enjoyed it. Like, there hasn't been an episode that I didn't not enjoy. I very much enjoyed every single one, but I feel like some of them weren't really needed, okay? But I digress. Other than that, you know, like I said, we're here to talk about this. So, obviously, go watch this episode if you have not already. This episode has been out for, you know, almost the whole day now, so please go watch it if you haven't, and come back to this video, and we can have our full discussion and everything, okay? The other big reveal, King Goma, right? King Goma is a thing now. It's the buff-ass, Jiren-looking ass, which we made that joke to hell and back, right, yesterday. That was all over Twitter. Everybody was talking about how he basically looks like a discount Walmart Temu Jiren. Okay, and I think they did that on purpose. I'm pretty sure they did that on purpose because not only is that kind of like how Toriyama does shit, there's always, you know, I don't want to say reused designs, but like, you know, designs that are very similar to other designs. This one is literally exactly the same, except they just got Jiren's body and they put Goma's head on top of it, right? And it looks goofy, right? We'll go over what it looks like and everything, you know, throughout this video. But I'm pretty sure they were trying to do that because Jiren versus Goku, that fight in Tournament of Power in Dragon Ball Super, is one of the most well-known fights in all of Dragon Ball at this point in time, okay? All eyes were on that fight, UI Goku versus Jiren, and just Jiren in general, okay? A lot of people like Jiren and love the Tournament of Power as a, you know, modern-day arc, okay? A lot of kids grew up with Dragon Ball Super, so this is a very, very iconic design, right? So the fact that they went for it, I could tell what they were trying to do, right? They're trying to, what do I want to say, piggyback off the hype of that fight and try to make like a newer version. I don't want to say newer, but you know what I mean? Like that design, they're trying to get people like, hey, you know, this is it. This is the new Jiren in a way, right? Not really, but maybe there's some lore that's going to be revealed that, I saw some people say that, the Pride Troopers design, like their outfits are based off of the Demon Realm, like King Goma or whatever. I'm pretty sure Goma's the only character that has like a literal copy and paste of that. The only thing that's different is that they're like more spikes on the like black part of the waist instead of just like a basic like triangle. But I digress. Okay, let's get into the episode. Let's discuss everything. There's a lot to talk about. So I just have all these shots, just a few shots. I say a few, there's a lot of them. So again, like I said, we got to see Super Saiyan 3. Goku transforms at the very end of the episode, which we'll get into. And throughout the episode, the very beginning, just to kind of break down, the part that I wasn't really like. I enjoyed it, but it was just like, again, I don't want to say unnecessary, but the fight, Goku and my bad. They end up having a battle together. Okay, Shin is talking with Arinsu, and they're trying to negotiate what they're going to be doing with the Dragon Balls. Okay, obviously, Goku and friends want the Dragon Balls to wish back to normal. Arinsu wants to have the Dragon Balls to wish for a more terrifying demon realm or whatever. And it's funny because in the beginning when they're having the discussion, because this is the first time that Nahare, Supreme Kai, and Arinsu meet up and actually like talk, right? In like many, several decades, right? And she goes, one of her first reactions was like, she goes, "Oh, hello, brother. You're still as short as ever." And that's funny because Supreme Kai, he like makes the excuse, "Oh, well, because we're children." But no, Supreme Kai is he's still pretty short, okay? This is coming from a short person, myself, right? We short, and hey, there's nothing wrong with it. But I thought that was just funny. Just like, that's like the first thing she says to him. She's pretty tall. She's a big woman, right? Okay, so he makes this face whenever he's talking to her. And this was the classic, iconic, mysterious motherfucker aura that he had back in DBZ. But I mean, he don't got that same aura anymore. So I don't know what he was trying to do, but I thought it was funny because they brought that back. They end up making the decision that they're gonna have a battle between two people, one on each side. So they end up, having a squabble. Obviously, Goku and Vegeta go, "Oh, I want to do it, but it's my turn." Goku made a funny remark. He goes, Vegeta says, "It doesn't matter, who fights the opposing side." And then Goku goes, "Well, if it doesn't matter, then I'll fight." I don't know. I thought that was funny. Goku just says the dumbest shit, bro. I love it. So they end up having a fight. Again, I don't want to say that this fight was unnecessary or anything, but I mean, it was in the grand scheme of things, it ended up being pointless because Goma ended up coming through, and then they ended up having to fight him. But the whole point of this fight was supposed to be whoever wins gets all 3 Dragon Balls, right? Which is kind of an unfair fight, but she threatened to destroy their Dragon Ball, the one that they had, but they only had 1, and Goku and friends had 2. So it was like I guess they had no choice because she fucking threatened. But this fight was very cool. I very much liked it. Little notes and hints of the OG fight between Goku and Majin Buu, Fat Buu, as well as mainly Kid Buu. Do, and sorry if I interchange Do and Ku. They're like brothers, right? So that's what it is. But there's the stretchy arms and everything. The animation was phenomenal. It was still really, really good. And yeah, I did enjoy it. It was just that it's unfortunate that nothing really came of that fight other than a cool animation, right? That's pretty much all it was for. So there's this cool clash between them and everything, and then Goma, he ends up, coming through, and they're like, "Oh fuck, he's got the third eye, like we're screwed." But Goku and everybody, they're ready to fight. Goku, he does actually tell everybody to come and fight, like, which is interesting because Goku usually doesn't do that, right? He usually is like, "I'm gonna be the one that's gonna fight," but no, Goku knew that this guy was no pushover. This guy was the big bad, and he was like, "All right, we got to get everyone in on this shit." And Goma, he ends up he says it right here, "I'll prepare a special ring for us," which I thought this was sick. If you guys remember how Cell made the Cell games, where he's like the 2 fingers and he goes, it's like one of his like iconic moves in Dragon Ball FighterZ and everything. And that's whenever he creates it. He does kind of a similar thing because he's got this like insane, like super long ass range telekinetic power, and he makes this giant ass like fucking stage. It's basically like a whole stage that we're not going to get in Sparking Zero, obviously, because Sparking Zero just doesn't want to make stages. But hey, maybe that's where they put all their energy. Maybe, if we're lucky, they're putting all their time and effort into the stage. And it makes this really cool, giant-ass ring where it's got like spikes coming out from the bottom, and they're like almost like kind of like touching and shit. It's so sick, dude. And I really hope we get in Sparking Zero. But yeah, he does like a similar fashion with the two fingers, and bro's fingering the stage or whatever. I don't know what to say. But this shit got me so hot because Goku and everybody, they're going and they're not doing too well. There's a point where Vegeta, he's the first one to take a crack at Goma, and then Goma just blocks his hit with the two fingers, which again, exactly like what happened with Jiren versus Goku. Again, they're really trying to play on the Jiren hype, piggyback off that fight, right? So Jiren did that to Goku, and it's the same exact pose and everything with the two fingers, grabs his fist, and then just, flings him to the side, right? So Vegeta, obviously, he's being ambitious, and he gets his ass whooped, and, nothing really comes of that. But when they're all teamed up and everything, they say, I think it was Bulma that said, hey, you guys are strong, like, go help them. And Arinsu, she kind of hesitates for a second, and then she thinks about it, and then she goes, hey, you two, and she's talking to Du and Ku. She said, go fight. I don't know why. I got goosebumps whenever she said that, because I don't know. I think it's the idea of these two, which are supposed to be, sorry, I say these two, but this group, which is supposed to be, I don't want to say necessarily evil. I mean, Arinsu, she's an antagonist. Ku and Du, I don't see them as bad dudes, but they're following their mom, basically. So they gotta listen to mommy, right? So I thought it was just, I don't know. I think it's just whenever you have a large scale big battle like this, and you have to get the other opposing side to aid you in that battle, there's just something fucking awesome about that shit. That I live for that kind of stuff, bro. Like I live for Dragon Ball, bro, and I live for these crazy ass fights. But this was just so cool to see that, like, she was like, hey, I need you two to go in and you gotta help them. Like, this isn't a joke. This ain't no BS. Like, this is some real shit. So that was awesome seeing Ku and Du fighting alongside Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Nahare. Supreme Kai was fighting. I don't know what bro thought he was gonna do. Gloria was in the fight. Pansy and Bulma, I think, were the only ones that stayed back with the king, her dad, and like their group or whatever. But there's another thing that I didn't have an image on here. Neva, the old Namekian guy, he looks at Tamagami 1, who is there just like sitting there watching, and he constantly winks at him 500 times. He could have easily just said, hey, go help them fight, but he does this weird ass winking shit, which was hilarious, bro. And he does it like a million times, and Tamagami 1 like it takes forever to catch on. He goes, me? You want me to fight? So even cooler, they got Tamagami 1 to get in on that shit. Tamagami 2 and 3, they don't even know what's going on. They're not even here. But I thought that was so cool that everyone was in on this fight. This is just to fight King Goma. And by the way, that's his official name. They're probably going to call him that in the video games, because he's definitely going to be the main final boss, big bad character who's going to be powerful as shit. Right? That's gonna be awesome. And I like that. I like the name of King Goma over everything that we see. What is the name that is overused when it comes to final boss characters or big villain characters? Full power, etc., etc. Or what is it? Final form, right? That's, oh my god, dude, that's overused, and that's fine. That's like the generic term, but King Goma sounds awesome, and I like that more than if they just called him Goma in parentheses final form, or Goma in parentheses full power. Like, or maybe they call him Third Eye Goma or some bullshit, right? There's no way you're gonna have regular Goma, like base little motherfucker Goma playable. They're not gonna do that. He didn't do shit in the series, right? He did nothing for 16, almost 17 episodes until he got his buff, right, from the Third Eye. So this is where shit hit the fan, bro. Oh my god, this animation, bro, this was literally a fusion between the Broly. The best parts about the Broly movie, okay, this right here looked exactly like a Broly movie fight, okay, because Superhero was like, CGI, and it was 3D, and it didn't have that same, feel to it. Man, dude, I gotta breathe, because this, oh my god, dude, this fight gave me the biggest boner ever. This shit was so peak, bro. The Dragon Ball boner was back. I haven't had it since the Superhero movie, right? Like, even the Tamagami 1 versus Goku fight, and even the Tamagami 1, Tamagami 3 versus Goku, and Tamagami 2 versus Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Those two were the best fights in the anime so far, and the best 2 episodes, in my opinion, right? That might as well have been shit compared to what they did in this episode. They literally had people, I believe, from the Broly movie. Okay, there was like a key animator that did it. And I've watched the Broly movie like a million times. I could see it was exactly the same. Like, I don't want to say it like in a bad way, like they copy pasted. No, I'm just saying like the fight itself, the animation, the way the characters moved, the movement and everything, and how things flowed. It was exactly like the fight where right when Super Saiyan, Broly goes Super Saiyan and he's fighting Super Saiyan Blue Goku. This is after his dad, Paragus gets shot or whatever. The animation in that, I'm talking about that specifically, was exactly like this. Like I said, the way the characters are very bouncy looking and they move and they flow. I love that. It was so good. Like right before the fight starts, it has this crazy pan around between Goku and the group, and like it's like the perspective and everything. It was so fucking like, you knew this was the fight we've been waiting for. They put the whole fucking budget of the entire anime into this fight, and it's so far until we see episode 18, 19, and 20, which are going to be even more insane. Just watch, right? And you can see like the way that the outlines of the characters are, and oh my god, it was so fucking peak. Like I say peak, I use that word, I throw it around all the time. Peak to me, when I say it, it just basically means it's great, it's awesome, right? No, this right here was truly the peak of the anime so far, in my opinion. You can disagree with me, but because of how good the animation was and how epic the fight was, the music was so sick, dude. Listen, go back and watch this episode again. I watched it like 5 times already. I mean, at least this fight, I had to just keep watching it because it was just, whoo, man, it was so peak. So again, this is what I'm talking about, the sick ass perspective where you have Goma like arms crossed, like the big badass mofo he is, dude. He looks goofy, but he's cool as fuck, honestly. Like I love him, man. I love this guy. How they literally did a perfect job of conveying how ridiculously powerful he is. And like I said, it's like the best parts about the Broly movie and the superhero movie combined. Like this was Dragon Ball Z / Dragon Ball Super, mainly Dragon Ball Super. If you guys were waiting for that kind of fight, that's what it was, right? And then they had this sick moment where they're all like, fighting him and everything, and like Goma's using his telekinetic powers to throw rocks and everything, and they're all dodging it. The animation is on point. It's so fucking smooth. It's like butter. And then they all are on, each character's on a rock, okay, on one of the floating rocks, and they all charge up one of their most iconic attacks. Goku's got a Kamehameha. Vegeta's got a Gallic Gun. Piccolo took off his weighted clothing or whatever, and he's got this special beam cannon and shit. Nahade, Supreme Kai, and Gloria are teamed up. You can see up in the corner there, they're charging up a blast. You have Majin, Ku, and Du teamed up, charging up a blast, and then you have Tamagami 1 doing his like purple blast right there, okay? And then he just fucking deflects it with a barrier, and dude, there's a point where he rises up from this like beam, and it's exactly like when Broly goes Super Saiyan for the first time in the Broly movie, where he's rising up and like the animation and everything. And then Goma even does like a disperse blast, okay, little homing like crazy blast that Broly does. He's literally like a fusion of Jiren and Broly together. That's what they were going for with King Goma, which is awesome. I love that. So there is a point where before in the fight where Goku, his little pouch with all the bugs and stuff, the little the fusion bug and the stamina bug, what are they called, the medi bugs or whatever they're called, it falls out of his pocket. Which I have to think about that, like Goku's been in a lot of fights before, and his sensu beans, I guess, never fell out. I can't recall a time where that happened. Maybe it did, but that happened, and it wasn't like like a silly thing or anything. It was realistic. You're in a fight, you're getting thrown around, you're moving a lot, and you're focused on the fight, and you're not gonna notice the little bag that, little pouch that falls out. So that's somewhere on the floor, and Vegeta, they're all fucked up right at this point, and Vegeta asks, he goes, Kakarot, those bugs, have you got any more? And he's mainly asking about the stamina bug because they need a boost. They're really destroyed. And Goku's like, oh no, it fell out. And then Vegeta, he just ends up collapsing and falling, and then Goma immobilizes Goku, and Goku's like about to get fucked by a giant blast, okay? And then I think it's Do and Tamagami 1. They step in and block the blast, which that made me so happy and hyped. I was like, oh, that's so cool. They're helping out this dude. They know Goku, because throughout the whole fight, Goku was the only one that actually could contend with Goma just a bit, right? Goma was still like invincible, but you know, he at least pushed him back a little bit compared to everybody else. They didn't do anything at all. Like their attacks were ineffective, right? And then, you know, while they're blocking the blast, Goku's like, all right, time to stop holding back. The aura farm is here. Bro was ready to farm the aura up the ass. After he powered up, he transforms. This sequence was so absolute fire, bro. You know, it was smooth. Again, it was one of those, again, it's not one of those where it's like, just like a impact frame or like a white flash and then boom, you're already Super Saiyan 3 or goes to Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan 3. No, it actually showed a smooth transition of Goku's hair turning yellow, his eyes, you know, were still black and then they glow and then his hair spikes up and it flows really, really well into this, and it even shows the hair growth and everything. And then we finally get to see Super Saiyan 3. This shot right here is so fucking good. Oh my god, dude. Like, I love that both Goku and Vegeta had their Super Saiyan. Like, this is the Super Saiyan 3 pose. This is the one. Like, both Goku and Vegeta both did this shit. And you can see his muscles. You can see more definition on the muscles, which that's so cool, dude. Dragon Ball Daima, finally, after decades, we finally get to see Super Saiyan 3 get the love it deserves, where it's actually doing stuff, right? And it's actually being utilized to its, you know, greatest potential. And they really, really displayed that in this episode when Goma's blast him or whatever, and it just you can see right here, just disperses. Like he was like, after he went Super Saiyan 3, it made him almost like he was like invincible. Like he just took that, he tanked it. Like, that's awesome, bro. Like, Super Saiyan 3 doesn't get that kind of love anymore, right? And this little kid Daima Goku, right? Goku Mini. Like, look at this shit, bro. Oh my god. It's peak, man. It's peak. This literally is peak. So, again, this was what we went to hell and back with this joke. Discount Walmart ass Jiren, which is funny because, in a sense, Goma was the first. Because Dragon Ball Super hasn't, in a sense, happened yet, right? So that's why there's a joke that, like, oh, maybe the Pride Troopers have their design based on Goma. Like, it looks exactly the same. The only thing that's different is mainly the part where it transitions into like the black on the pants. There are more spikes on Goma's design, but he looks goofy, but he also is really cool at the same time. Like, he looks like a balloon. Like, he looks like an inflatable like doll or something like that, bro. But like, I thought his face was gonna look a lot more menacing. Like, he was gonna have more detail and maybe like more definition and stuff. No, they just slapped on Goma's head, made his head bigger, gave him the third eye, and they buffed him up like crazy. I mean, compared to this artwork and this design, he's fucking he's like Broly level buff right here, bro. I don't know, man, but it's crazy. I love this episode so much, and I'm hearing that episode 18 is gonna be the one. It's called Awakening. So this is either new transformation or new fusion. Y'all let me know. Give me your predictions and thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Dragon Ball is back. We have to savor these last 3 episodes, y'all. If you are not watching Dragon Ball Daima, please get on it now, right? There are going to be big-ass reveals. Like, there were big reveals in this. I don't say big, but there were, you know, fire-ass reveals. But next episode is probably going to be the one, right? The one. And this is a fight that I hope that we're going to be talking about for years and, you know, to come, right? I want these next few episodes, what's going to happen. I want the Goma versus whatever fusion or new form to be like the new Gogeta versus Broly or Vegeta versus Zamasu, right? I want that to be it. And we'll see how hype it is. If it's hype enough and, you know, it gets people's attention, that's going to be the one that you're going to see in Dokkan celebrations, in Dragon Ball Legends celebrations, in Xenoverse DLC, and Sparking Zero DLC as like big sellers, right? You know, contending with Beast Gohan versus Cell Max, all that kind of stuff. Like, modern Dragon Ball, whether you like it or not, it's got to have something new brought to the table to sell merch, because that's what it's all about nowadays. Which I don't want to say it's a bad thing. It gets me hyped, right? But if it's a good fight and it's got great animation, what's there to complain about? I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
This is Broly, and you are watching SLOplays. Make sure to subscribe, or else I'll destroy your entire planet.